What's up? Video number 2 of the day. Okay, this one's gonna be kind of what I found locally, used stuff. I'm gonna split it into 2. One, what I found in the shops for the most part, and the other one's gonna be a few finds from the fair. Although I feel like what I'm finding used locally has been slowing down, still finding tons of great stuff. I know some people where they live, they feel they don't get a lot, and in Montreal, I'd say it's a pretty good deal I got here, of selection of used shops that gets in good stuff. It's just when you go often to the shops, you know, it's not every time you go in that you're finding stuff or finding really good stuff, but you know, more than enough, too much to keep me busy, that's for sure. So a few internet finds that I've grabbed over the past few months. This is a record that just really odd, not much about it online, not really many have sold. The only one that had sold on Discogs was a friend of mine who came over for a listening session and had brought it over, and I was digging it, and I was kind of just like, this is a really obscure record that is just not available anywhere. So I was like, I'm gonna find this record, and I actually I messaged a fellow VC member, and I was like, if you see this around your parts, let me know. And he just like messaged me back 5 minutes later with like, here's a link to it. There's a copy for sale on Amazon. And I was like, okay. And I left it for a few weeks, and then it was still there. So I'm like, this is just funny almost that I'm gonna be able to have this record and show my friend who thought I would never find a copy. And if I ever, I'm still on the hunt for one locally if I find one or at a shop somewhere. But yeah, I actually never bought a record on Amazon, never even looked before. So this is Border Crossings, New Directions, and Tex-Mex Music, Ben Tavera King, y los Jazz Tex. This is on Folkways. So yeah, a lesser known, there's just so many Folkways titles, but really not a crazy record, but it's an interesting record, very enjoyable. So if you see this, let me know. You might want to grab it for yourself. But yeah, check it out. You can't really hear it online. Should have probably sampled it for you, but I didn't. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, Needle Groove Vinyl, check it out. This is a VC kind of discovery. Didn't know this record. Bounced around Facebook group, a thread about this. Guy in France was selling dead stock. So this is VS Quartet, Apu Zut. I don't know how you say that, but spiritual jazz record from France, and this is really, really good. The label is, I don't even know, doesn't really say, but yeah, on percussion you have Dusty dos Santos, you have piano on here, drums and electric bass, and some alto sax. Really nice record, and yeah, he was just selling dead stock. The price kind of kept going up as he was selling them, but this is the stuff I love discovering, just things I would know nothing about. I know a lot of people who are more knowledgeable than me knew this record, so we're excited when the dead stock showed up, and I jumped on it because the people recommending it were people I trust, and yeah, was not disappointed by this. So happy to add that to the collection, and really right in the spot of music that feels good for me right now, and is what I want to be listening to. And this next record, I would say, actually this one I didn't buy online, but this is also right in that sweet spot, and this just blew me away. I think I might have shown this already, I'm not sure, but this is Kahil Elzabar's The Ritual. Found this in Toronto when I was there I think it was the first week of October. It's the only record I bought, but on sound aspects, so this is from the mid to late 80s, I think. And I liked it so much that I ordered this one, found a copy of this online for a reasonable price. The Ritual, same label, sound aspects, same time period. This one is good, but not as good as this one, in terms of not necessarily the quality, but just the style of music they're playing. This one is kind of more deep healing music hits the spot. This one is a bit heavier, more out there. So featuring Lester Bowie and Malachi flavors, but another discovery for me in terms of the label. Late 80s, I don't really, it's rare that I'm finding jazz that I'm digging from the late 80s. I'm sure there's tons of it that I don't know, but just not on my radar. Although I do like Ethnic Heritage Ensemble. Losing my voice here. So these are 2 records that I picked up this week. So these are my most recent pickups. This is, I'd asked the store to put them on hold because they had posted them online, and I wasn't sure I was gonna dig them because I haven't really been I haven't been listening to a lot of free jazz recently. I've just been having a stressful couple months with work and stuff, so hasn't been what I've been craving, like that heavier music. But when I was listening to these into the store, they both hit the spot. I was digging them, so I grabbed them. This I have passed on a few times because just never connected with it, and it seemed to land a bit better this time. This is Art Ensemble of Chicago, People in Sorrow. When I listen to this, I really feel like I'm listening to or watching a play or something. It's very theatrical. It's not like dense. It's very spacious. Interplay between the musicians. Really, I don't know anything else like it in terms of the jazz recording world. I'm sure there is some stuff like this, but this is a first for me. So Roscoe Mitchell, Joseph Jarman, Lester Bowie, and Malachi flavors. So kind of related to those other records I shared. However, this is from '69, recorded in Boulogne, France, on Nessa Records. And this one is kind of an oddity. It did come with an artwork cover. This one doesn't have any artwork. It's kind of just like in a 12-inch sleeve. This is Frank Wright Quartet, live, Last Polka in Nancy. And this is, I think it's like a part 2 of, but anyway, this is also a French record, and it is Center of the World's Productions. And I kind of think that this group, this Frank Wright Quartet group, if you look on Discogs, is called Center of the World, but it's Bobby Few, Alan Silva, Frank Wright, and Muhammad Ali. And the actual title track is a little bizarre, to be honest, Doing the Polka on side 2. But the overall record I was also digging. It was like not all free jazz that I connect with, but this one was in a vein that I connected with. Or maybe it was just the energy, that I was feeling that day. I was able to connect with it more than other free jazz at the moment. I don't know what the original release is, if it's the one with the cover or the cover was released after this one, because this is, really strange. But I don't know if anyone knows this record, but yeah, picked it up. Okay, the rest is just stuff, mostly jazz, not all jazz. I'll just rip through it. I'll show you guys what I picked up because my voice is starting to hurt. Ramsey Lewis, Mother Nature's Son, cheap record. Hadn't seen this Ramsey Lewis ever. Funnily enough, I was talking about Ramsey Lewis with a buddy who works at a shop here, and he had actually sent me a track off this that he really digs, and then a week later I came across it. And this is all Beatles covers, which is not usually my thing, but this is produced by Charles Stepney and is killer. So highly recommend this. This I might have shown. I picked this up a long time ago, but Black Narcissus, Joe Henderson, was missing this one in the Milestone, Joe Henderson Milestone collection. I think I'm only missing 1 or 2 now. This is also a pickup from a while back. I may have shown this. I think this was the summer. Mary Lou Williams, Black Christ of the Andes. This is the MPS reissue, originally released on Folkways in the 60s. This is from the 70s. Really dig this cover though. And yeah, the music as well. I had never heard it. I know it was kind of one of Mary Lou's more sought after records. Definitely picked up more Latin records this year than ever before, and this is one I had seen recommended. Willie Rosario and his orchestra, Boogaloo and Guaguanco. Just a nice groovy Latin record on Atco. Also don't know if I showed this. Kind of just went through the stack. Couldn't remember what I'd shown in my last new arrivals, new finds videos, but this is Joe Bonner, who plays on a ton of amazing spiritual jazz records from the 70s. This is on Muse, this is solo piano, Lifesaver, and this is beautiful. Getting more into the trio and solo piano stuff. Soul record, David Ruffin, My Whole World Ended. I posted this last week when I was listening to it with my girlfriend on Sunday morning, a week ago today. Depressing looking cover, as Tom Minko pointed out, and titles: World of Darkness, I've Lost Everything I've Ever Loved, I've Got to Find Myself a Brand New Baby, My Whole World Ended. But it's very enjoyable listen, feels a bit happier than the title suggests. Somebody Stole My Dream is another song on here, kind of a downer of a soul album, but I dig it. And weirdly enough, this one's been banned for sale on Discogs. I don't really know what the story is there. Okay, what else we got here? Was happy to find this, David Axelrod, The Auction. This is on Decca, kind of a soundtrack, I believe, but I mean, David Axelrod's records all kind of sound like soundtracks. I'm not sure if this is a soundtrack, but not his most sought after record. One of the easier ones to find, I guess. Not the first time I see it. But yeah, pick this one up. Check it out if you don't know it. David Axelrod. There's another David Axelrod related thing in here I'll pull out. Got this last week. Traded in a bunch of records actually. The past 2 weeks I've gone and brought a stack of records. So I've done that twice. And yeah, really happy to kind of clear some space. So this is the release of An Oath, The Electric Prunes on Reprise. And this is amazing. Produced by David Axelrod, really has that David Axelrod sound, that 70s sound, although this one is from the late 60s, so it's kind of the beginning of what the sound that he was going to have on his solo records. I don't know at this point, I don't think he had released a solo record, but I'm not a David Axelrod expert by any means. All I can say is, although this is more of a rock record, unbelievable. Check this out. And the rest is all kind of rock related stuff. This one, jazz rock type stuff, or this one, in this case, this is more of like a folk and jazz. John Martin, Solid Air. Another example of just a record I would not know about or not pick up if it wasn't for the vinyl community. People sharing this on Facebook groups, on Instagram. I had seen, I recognized the cover, and then, so what I do when I'm digging is, if I pull something out and I'm like, this just looks familiar to me, but I don't know why, I'll always go on Instagram and just kind of see who's posted it and if it's people that I respect, that I know through the vinyl community, that's gonna like kind of influence my buying decision. If I can't sample the record, or even if I can sample it, I'm kind of curious what people's thoughts are and see who's posted it. Great record. This kind of blew me away actually. Really haven't heard anything else like this in the like folky kind of jazz style that I said. So yeah, check this out if you don't know it. John Martin, Solid Air. Another completely unknown find. This is Bob Downs' Open Music. This is on the Vertigo Swirl label. This is a Canadian pressing of this. This goes for a bit of money, but this was cheap because the record is probably like between a VG plus, and the cover, it has a bit of, you know, it's not in the best shape. There's some like little mold spots, or I guess it had some moisture exposure. This is interesting. I can't say I love this record. I'll have to listen to it some more, but definitely some really cool sounds on here. A bit all over the place, but in the jazz rock vein. Ian Carr, I believe, plays on here as well, of Nucleus. This is like a UK thing, obviously, it being on Vertigo. But yeah, kind of an interesting one to come across randomly. Psych record that I had a cheap reissue of, that I had bought probably one of my first times going out digging. Just thought it was a funny like name of a band and cover. This is on RCA, so I was happy to find a copy an original copy. I've actually seen an original copy recently as well, but for much more expensive because it was a really nice copy. This one plays fine for me. We have some ring wear, but for cheap, wasn't gonna go and spend, you know, 50, 60 bucks on a copy, but 10 bucks will do the trick. Classic here, Electric Ladyland. Hadn't listened to a lot of these songs in a long time. Jimmy. Sometimes, you know, it's not a record I was necessarily looking for. I don't really see copies of this show up. I'm sure they do. It's not a rare record by any means. They're usually beat. It's a nice like VG Plus copy of a Canadian pressing, original Canadian pressing. So I'm happy to find that and really enjoyed listening to that last week. And another band that I would not have known or probably stopped at, but because of the vinyl community, I recognized it, the name, and I'm not disappointed with this. This is from the Canterbury scene, Caravan, Waterloo Lily. I know maybe this is not their most, you could say sought after record. I think it is, people really do like this one, but there are some others that people like better. But I was really digging this, so if I come across some others, I'll definitely check those out. This is on London. I believe this is also a Canadian pressing of this, not a UK pressing. That's it for the local finds. In terms of what I found in shops, I got one more video for you guys, which will be the finds from dealers / record fair. Take care. Peace.